Greetings, everybody. Jeffrey Guterman, and it's that time again. It's time for Strat-O-Matic 1964 baseball.
Greetings, everybody. Jeffrey Guterman.
And I'm so glad to welcome you here to the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. And we'll get ready to play ball here in a few minutes. I'll have your lineups for the New York Mets at the Philadelphia Phillies, April 14, opening day for these clubs for the 1964 season. Hey, Ron is in the house. Glad to see you, Ron. Doing okay. Hope you're well. All right. I'm gonna have the lineups in just a few minutes here for the ball game. Just getting ready here for the ball game. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Oh, wow. Greetings, everybody. It's Jeffrey Guterman, and I'm here with the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network, and we've got a ball game here for you. Late this afternoon on the East Coast. We're doing our 1964 replay, and it's the New York Mets at the Philadelphia Phillies, their opening days. We're early on. It's only Game 7, and it's April 14, 1964. It's going to be Al Jackson, the left-hander, for the Mets, and Dennis Bennett for the Phillies. And I'm going to go through the lineups with you. For the New York Mets, leading off at first base is Dick Smith. He only had 94 at-bats, but again, using Baseball Reference, I follow the exact lineups to the best of my ability. If a player ended up traded and they put the player on the other team, then we'll pull him and use him until he goes to the other team. Batting second and playing second base is Amado Samuel. He only had 142 at-bats. Sometimes early in the season, you have people who start for you and they don't last for one reason or another on an everyday basis. Batting third, and it's a shame they ever got rid of him. Playing third base, Ron Hunt. Can you imagine if they kept Ron Hunt throughout his career? What a dependable ball player. Would have made a great everyday second baseman for the Mets, including the 69 Mets. But he's playing third tonight. He hit 303. Oh, wow. That's some year. The cleanup hitter is Frank Thomas. He'll play left field, and he was eventually traded to the Phillies. He was hurt for parts of the season, but his home run output was not quite what it was in the Mets' first year. Batting fifth, and this is another ball player who he could have been their permanent right fielder. You know, Swoboda was fine, but not as good as Jim Hickman. Batting fifth, and he's playing center field tonight. Batting sixth and catching is Hawk Taylor. You know, I do not remember, but he's in our 69 replay. I just don't remember which team. Batting seventh in right field is Joe Christopher. And look at him, he had a 300 average. Wow. Batting eighth, and I'm using a different shortstop. The Mets had Al Moran as a shortstop. He only played 2 years, 1963 and 1964. He had 331 at-bats in 63, 22 at-bats in 64. So we'll pass on him, and we'll use Roy McMillan, a right-handed hitter, to play shortstop and bat eighth. I think that's going to work out just fine. And the pitcher batting ninth is Al Jackson. He's a left-hander. Let's look at the... Oh, and just to let you know, since we're here, look at some of the other players they have. Harkness, Canizero is a catcher, Rod Conneal. In the bullpen is Larry Biernorth, who actually pitched in relief in this game. Tracy Stallard is a starter. He lost 20 games. Jack Fisher is in their rotation, so is Al Jackson. Dennis Rybant is a spot starter and reliever. Bill Wakefield, primarily a reliever. Galen Cisco, I guess you could call him in their rotation, 6'19". You have George Altman, an outfielder. Larry Elliott, he's an outfielder. Willard Hunter, a reliever. Carlton Willie, primarily a reliever, can start. Ron Lott, primarily a reliever, he can start. That's a lot of pitchers. You have Charlie Smith as an infielder. Bobby Kloss, an infielder. Eddie Kranepool, he plays first and outfield positions. And then finally Jesse Gonder, who's probably their most used catcher. So they got plenty of players on this team. That's not a problem at all. But the Mets came in last this season. In 1964, their third year of existence, they came in last place, 10th. They lost 109 games. They were 40 games behind. And not only that, the Houston Colt 45s, who came in 9th, were 13 games ahead of them. And now for the Philadelphia Phillies, who came tied for second place in the National League, 1 game behind the St. Louis Cards. Leading off is Tony Taylor at second base. He's on the 69 team. Playing right field, batting second, Johnny Callison, and boy, he's in his prime here. 31 homers, 654 at bats. He played every day, right field, good speed. Batting third, I think this is his rookie year, Richie Allen. There was no mention of Dick or anything like that. 632 at bats, 29 homers, 318 average. The cleanup hitter is and I had a little tough time with this. It's Roy Sievers, and I'm using a nameless player card because I can't find his card. He had about 100-something at bats on 2 teams, including the Senators. He's not on the Senators. I checked the roster. He's not on the roster. So I'm going to use the pitcher's hitting card. He hit like 188. This is 220. He did have 8 homers in about, oh God, I don't know how many at bats. It was over 100. So I thought that was a good average, but we'll just give him average power. We'll make him an N. A 3.7 at first base, 1 to 12 C, and he's got N power. Batting third is, fifth is Tony Gonzalez, and Tony will play center field. Batting sixth and playing left is Danny Cater, a very young Cater, hit 296. The catcher batting seventh is Clay Dalrymple. So I don't know if he started on these Phillies, but he's on the 64 team, and then he eventually, not this year, I don't believe, was traded, and he actually did a lot of catching for them. My goodness. Let me double check to see if he was traded. No. Eventually traded to the Orioles after the 68 season. He was a pretty dependable catcher for the Phillies. And as you can see, he's a 2, and he's a 2-1, 4. Batting eighth is Bobby Wine, and he was a decent shortstop for these Phillies, but then his hitting tailed away so bad, starting to hit under, by 1968 or so, under 200, and so they didn't protect him for the expansion draft, and the Expos got him. And the pitcher, Dennis Bennett, he is a left-hander also. He had 32 starts for this club. And he gets the opening day start for the Phillies. Bennett, his rookie year was 62, and this was his last year with the Phillies. He was traded to the Red Sox for 65. He landed on the Mets at the end of 67, played for the Angels in 68, and retired. He was 43 and 47 lifetime. A very, very obscure, somewhat obscure journeyman pitcher. Let's look at the rest of these Philadelphia Phillies, and I don't think that's really the full lineup that we're going to get used to. First of all, there's Ruben Amaro, and he's a real utility player. He had 299 at bats. He hit 264, so he's very valuable. Reliever John Clipstein, 0-4, but he was 1.96 with 2 saves, only 46 innings. He won this game. He came in for Bennett, and they won it 5-3. Gus Triandos, he's a catcher. He could also play first base. Jack Balchin, who, by the way, he died about 2 months ago. And he was on the Padres in 69, not protected. Pretty good. Pretty good. Used only as a reliever, 21 saves, my goodness. Then they have a sort of a spot starter. It's Art Mahaffey. Hey, Rick, great to see you. Great to see you. We're just looking at the Phillies team. We did this with the Mets after their lineup. We've done the Phillies lineup. Alex Johnson is an outfielder. He ended up on the Cincinnati Reds for our 69 replay. It's kind of fun to see where these people ended up, and then he got traded. Here's Ray Culp. Now, he's also a spot starter and a reliever. And he ended up on the Red Sox in our 69 replay. Boy, he was very good. Of course, the ace is Jim Bunning. He was 19 and 8 with a 2.63 ERA, 38 starts, maybe 39. Sometimes I don't read those right. Very good strikeout ratio. And he pitched a perfect game on Father's Day against the Mets. But he's not going tonight. Here's John Boozer. Some of us may remember him. He is on the Phillies. He's still on the Phillies. Look at this. He had a 5.10 ERA. Isn't that cool that he's on this team? Ed Roback is devotedly a reliever, and he's a pretty good one. 77 innings pitched and 12 saves. Bobby Shantz is also a reliever, but he only had 1 save, but he did have 61 innings. Here's a young Rick Wise, who stayed with the Phils for a while, and he's mostly a reliever, but also a spot starter. Chris Short is part of the main rotation, as is Bunning and Bennett, who's pitching tonight. John Hernstein, a real utility player, didn't play too much. Here's Wes Covington, who's not in the lineup today, but you could see 339 at bats, 280, 13 homers. He probably got hurt, and then finally Cookie Rojas, who was on the 69 team. So it's a pretty good team, and I'd say the pitching is really good. Bennett is not so great, but these two are. So that's a great 1-2 punch, and then they have to scramble for someone else to start. And if they can get the pitching, they could be very competitive in this 1964 replay. And again, we are early on in this replay. Well, the Phillies are just about ready to take the field. We are at Connie Mack Stadium, and as Connie Mack goes, the stadium, the fans, it's a pretty good opening day crowd. The total gate paid is $21,016 for this ball game. That's, again, for them. They've been a notoriously bad team. The manager for the Mets is, what was he called? The professor, Casey Stengel. And I believe it's Gene Mauch. For the Phillies, who eventually went to the Expos. Yes, it is Gene Mauch. And some people say he pitched Bunning out of rotation when he was getting nervous at the end, and then everything went downhill from there. But that season is quite a season. So we're just about set here at Connie Mack Stadium. It's a beautiful evening for a baseball game. I see that the first pitch is scheduled for 5:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, you have Ray Culp on 72. He didn't have a good year. Okay, you know, he had a pretty good year on the 69 Red Sox, and he's really pitched some good games in the replay. I'm telling you, not always, but boy, sometimes he really has been awesome. So the Phillies, in real world, just to let you all know, they landed in second place, tied with the Cincinnati Reds, 92-71. Lousy game behind the Cards. Giants were 3 out. The Milwaukee Braves were 5 out. The Pirates and Dodgers were 13 out, which is still somewhat competitive. You know, you're talking about the 6th and 7th teams. The Cubs were 17 and out, but they're only, well, they were 10 games under 500. That's not the end of the world. And then you had the Colt 45s and the Mets tagging behind. The Colts were 13 games ahead of the Mets. So that's an interesting way that worked out. Oh, total meltdown. Yeah, and people don't talk enough about the Cardinal comeback. Well, it's just about a minute now, and we expect the Phillies to take the field. But they have a very good team this year, I believe. Last year, they came in 4th. Only 12 games behind with 87 wins. So they really, that was in 63. So we're already seeing them as emerging. They won 81 games in 62. And they won, by the way, the Phillies have taken the field. And in 1961, they were in last place. So what we're seeing here is the hopes were high in Philadelphia for them to get better and better. And we'll see what happens. Dennis Bennett is on the mound. He's taking his warm-ups. He's a southpaw. Behind the plate is Dale Rimple. It's Severs at first, Taylor at second, Dick Allen at third, Severs at Wine at short outfield, left to right, Cater, Gonzalez, and Callison. And here's Dick Smith for the New York Mets stepping up. Phillies won this one in real world. And 21,016 are ready. And Bennett is ready, and we're ready. The windup by Bennett and the pitch to Smith. It's 2-9 left-handed. He struck him out. So that's a great way to start the season. Bennett gets Smith. And there's one down. Here's Amato Samuel. Whoops. Here's Bennett now. The pitch to Samuel. That's 2-8, left-handed, and it's a base hit by Samuel. He's on first, one down. And Ron Hunt is the batter. He was a B bunter back then. I think he was an A sometimes. He gets hit by lots of pitchers. He likes to let the ball get on him. And as long as he can handle it, it's fine by Casey. Here's the pitch to from Bennett. That's 2-7 left-handed, and it's a base hit by Hunt. Samuel goes to second. It's to left field. He's a Cater +1, and they'll let him go to third. It's a tough call, but Phillies will prefer to go for the double play here. And Frank Thomas is the batter. Hunt on first, Samuel on third, one out. Mets batting, top of the first, just underway here at Connie Mack for opening day. Here's Bennett. The pitch to Thomas now. That's 4-10 right-handed. And that's a fly ball to left. Going back to get it is Cater. That's going to be deep enough for Samuel to tag. Cater catches it, and home comes Amato Samuel. The Mets take an early 1-0 lead here in the first. That's the way to do it. Now Jim Hickman, 2 outs. Hunt still at first base. There's a strike called on Hickman. All right, Bennett, the pitch. 1-6, left-handed. He walked him, so it's first and second. Now Hawk Taylor is the batter. All right, here's Bennett now. The pitch to Taylor. And that's 1-8 left-handed, and he grounds it back to Bennett. Throws, excuse me, to Severs, and the side is retired. It's 1 run for the Mets here in the top of the first on 2 hits, a sacrifice fly, a walk left on. Hunt was left on also after the base hit, and it's Mets 1, Phillies coming to bat. Well, the Mets take the field. It's Al Jackson on the mound to get the opening day start here in Philadelphia. Jackson taking his warm-ups. It's Hawk Taylor behind the plate. Smith at first, Samuel at second, Ron Hunt at third, McMillan at short, outfield left to right, Frank Thomas, Jim Hickman, and Joe Christopher. And it looks like Jackson's ready. And here comes Tony Taylor stepping into the batter's box. The Mets lead by 1. Here's the pitch to Taylor. That's 2-12 left-handed. Grounds it to short. McMillan has it. And throws over to Smith. And that's 1 away. Here's Johnny Callison having a real prime season in his career this year. Left-handed hitter, so lefty-lefty here. The windup by Jackson and the pitch. 2-8, and he pops it up to second. Oops, for Samuel, who gets it 2 away. And now Richie Allen. Richie, rookie this year. This will be his, I believe this will be his first at bat in Major League history. Let's double check that. No. He had 24 at-bats in 63, not qualifying as a rookie. He had to be Rookie of the Year. Yes, he was. This was a total breakout season for what people thought was going to be a mega superstar. But he never made the Hall of Fame. Okay, Jackson. The pitch to Allen. That's 2-5, left-handed, and he struck him out. And it's a 1-2-3 for Al Jackson. No runs for the Phillies, and after 1, it's Mets 1, Phillies nothing. Dennis Bennett, and for his second inning, he allowed a run in the first. Leading it off for the Mets, Joe Christopher. We have 2 southpaws at it here today for opening day. Here's Bennett. And the pitch to Christopher. That's 2-8, left-handed, and he grounds it to short for Wine. To Severs, and that's 1 away. Roy McMillan is the batter. Al Jackson on deck with 1 out, top of the second, nobody on. And that misses outside for a ball thrown by Bennett. That's 5-10 right-handed, fly ball left field. And Cater makes the catch, 2 outs. Here's the pitcher, Al Jackson. 2 outs, nobody on. The pitch to Jackson. He's a left-handed hitter for 4, grounds it to short and wide. Look at him, a 1. My Lord. When he was young, how did he get worse? He was a 3 in 69, I believe. That's going to be 9-1. He's a 29, E29. And Wine boots it for an error. So Jackson is on with 2 outs. Now it's Dick Smith. Smith struck out by Bennett in the first. Okay, Bennett from the stretch. And here's the pitch to Smith. That's 1-7, left-handed. He grounds it to short wide. He's got it this time. Throws it to Severs, and the side is retired. And there was no runs for the Mets in the top of the second. No hits, the error by Wine. And left on base was Al Jackson. 1-0 Mets in the middle of the second. Jackson retired the Phillies in order in the first. And here comes Severs. He's a right-hander, right-handed hitter. Okay, Jackson, the wind-up and the pitch to Severs. That's 5-5 right-handed, and he struck him out, and that's 2 in a row for Al. Did they call him Little Al Jackson, was it? Now Tony Gonzalez. Here's the windup by Jackson and the pitch to Gonzalez. That's going to be 5-9, left-handed. And he hits it, Gonzalez, and he hits it well. And it's gone. Over the fence for a home run. A solo home run by Tony Gonzalez here to tie up this ball game. Let's look at that again. It's lefty-lefty, and it was a 5-9, and it was N home run 1-17. Well, oh, I'm so sorry, he's a W against left-handers. Isn't that special? So it's a base hit, and Gonzalez is on first with 1 out. Here's Danny Cater. It happens, but we caught it. Oh. Oh, shit. Excuse me 1 moment, please. There's a break in the action. Now Mork came out, and I have no idea what he's talking about, but now Stengel has come out. Okay. Let them discuss. Have a great time, guys. Thank you, and here's Danny Cater. So Gonzalez on first, one down. Jackson from the stretch. The pitch to Cater. 1-6 left-handed, fly ball center field for Hickman, and that's 2 away. The batter is Clay Dalrymple. This will be lefty-lefty. Bear with me, please. This will be the last extensive interruption in a while. Thank you. There we go. Okay, Dalrymple facing Jackson. 2 outs now. Gonzalez on first. And the pitch. That's 3-9, left-handed. And that's swung on and hit for a base hit by Dalrymple. Oh my, almost a triple. What a score. God. First and third. It was hit well. That's a 13. That's going to bring up Bobby Wine. A clutch situation, first and third, 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Wine. 1-8, and he pops it up to short. McMillan is under it. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. So Jackson gets out of that, and I apologize for that initial when I thought it was a home run and we saw that he's a W. It's no runs, 2 hits, and 2 left on after 2. It's 1-0. It's a beautiful night, I would say, for a game of Strat-O-Matic. It really is. I mean, sometimes you just have to sort of roll with it. You know what I mean? What the hell? You just have to play it and just let it do what it does. Don't try to make it something it isn't, and most of all, have fun. Bennett comes out to pitch the top of the third. And leading it off is Amato Samuel, who singled and scored in the first. It's Mets 1, Phillies nothing. After 2. Alrighty, here's Bennett now. 5-2, he walked him, so Samuel is on. And Ron Hunt is the batter. Maybe we'll have Hunt lay it down. Why not? He's a B. Okay, still a B. Here's Bennett now with Samuel on first, no outs. The pitch to Hunt. Whoa, it's going to be a 10B, and it's chopped back to Bennett, who throws to first. I'm sorry. He throws to second and forces Samuel. So let's just write it off as a force out that you didn't want. And it'll be Hunt on first, 1 out. Here's Frank Thomas. Thomas knocked in the run for the Mets with a sacrifice fly to left. Here's Bennett now, working from the stretch. And the pitch to Thomas. That's 4-7 right-handed. And that's a liner to third, caught by Dick Allen. 2 outs. That's annoying. So Hunt's at first with 2 down, and Jim Hickman is the batter. Four-3 on Hickman. That's a fly ball to right. Going back for it, Callison, a 1-4. That's 6-1. I think he's going to get that. Yes, he does. And the side is retired. No runs for the Mets in the top of the third. No hits, the walk, and 1 left on. Middle of the third, it's still 1-0 Mets. We'll see. See how little Al can do his thing. He had 2 base runners in the second. We'll see how he manages as the evening goes on. Okay, Jackson will face Dennis Bennett to lead it off. He's a left-handed hitter, Bennett. Jackson into his windup and the pitch. That's 6-6 left-handed, and he grounds it to first, scooped up by Smith, and it's 1 away. Back to the top, Tony Taylor. He grounded to short in the first. That's 1-4. Grounding to short, McMillan. Nice pickup. And there's 2 away. Taylor grounded to McMillan also in the first. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's Callison. This will be lefty-lefty. Jackson looks in. He gets the sign from Hawk Taylor. And here's the pitch to Callison. That's going to be 3-11 left-handed. And it's a base hit up the middle for Callison. So Johnny is on. And Dick Allen is the batter. That can be a dangerous thing. We don't know about this youngster. He only had 26 at-bats last season. We hear he's really good, and he's going to get the starting job at third base this year. And it turns out he had 632 at-bats with 67 walks. So he had almost 700 plate appearances, if not more. I guess he can get some other way. If you're hit by a pitch, I'm sure there's other ways. Here's the pitch now to Dick Allen. 5'7", right-handed. He chops it to short. McMillan again picks it up smooth. Over to Smith at first, and the side is retired. Another single left on base, but no runs against Jackson. We've gone 3 here at Connie Mack Stadium. And it's a 1-0 ball game. And I'm going to take a break for just a few minutes. Get myself oriented, get myself in a better sort of rhythm. And then we'll continue this ball game. This is the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. Well, we're back. It's Jeffrey Guterman for the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. And I don't know, I was a little awkward there in the first 3 innings, not feeling exactly right. I've been heating something up to eat. And once I started that process, I was actually feeling a little better. You know, this also serves as for some people, as ambiance. I have my one guy who tells me that these broadcasts have cured his insomnia. He can't stop himself from letting me know every once in a while. Some people listen to it on demand. It's a 1-0 ball game. The Mets lead it here, getting good pitching from Al Jackson, and Bennett's pitching fairly well too, except for that first inning, maybe. And it's going to be Hawk Taylor to lead it off. I got to tell you, I looked at if you go take a look at Baseball Reference for, the schedule, that way you get the box score. God, there were so many changes to positions for the Mets. Okay, pinch hitters and position changes. It's pretty wild. Well, just a few actually, but that maybe if it was legal, maybe Casey was not demented. Okay. Well, we're getting ready to start here. Bennett on the mound. Hawk Taylor will lead it off. He grounded back to Bennett in the first. The Mets lead by 1 here. Top of the 4th at Connie Mack in Philly. That's a 1-8. Left-handed. Grounds it back again to Bennett, who throws it to Severs. That's 1 down. Now Joe Christopher. Christopher is a right-handed hitter facing Bennett. He grounded to short in the second. And here's the pitch. 2-9, left-handed, and he pops it up behind the plate and off with the masked Dalrymple under it, and he makes the catch. 2-away. Do any catchers ever catch a foul ball with the mask on? Have you ever seen that? Maybe there was one so quick they didn't have time or something, or they forgot. Roy McMillan comes up. It's 2 outs and nobody on for the Mets. The pitch to McMillan. 4-3, right-handed, fly ball right X. That's going to be for Callison, a 1-4. Isn't that a pleasure, huh? 1-4-1-1. Oh, he makes the catch. Callison, a nice catch. And that will retire the side. 1-2-3 inning for Bennett, looking very good. Whoops, and we're heading to the bottom of the 4th. Still 1-0 Mets here. It's a pitcher's duel, or at least it's in the making. And Jackson comes on the mound. He's thrown 3 shutout innings. And we'll see how he fares here in the bottom of the 4th. Leading it off will be Severs. He struck out. He got on Jackson's card, which, since he's a right-handed hitter and we rightly give him end power, that's very realistic. Using a nameless player. Here's the pitch. Again, 4-7 right-handed, and that is a ground ball to first, stopped by Smith. And he throws it to Jackson, covering the bag. Nice play. So that's one away. Now Tony Gonzalez. Gonzalez, left-handed hitter. There'll be lefty-lefty there. Here's Jackson. And the pitch. That's 1-4 left-handed. Grounds it to second for Samuel. That's 2 away. I'll tell you, both are looking very good here in the early going. We're in the middle innings now. Danny Cater is the batter. Oh. Okay, Jackson. He gets the sign from Taylor. And the pitch to Cater. That's 1-6 left-handed. And it's a fly ball to center field, playable by Hickman. He's under it, and there's a 1-2-3 for Jackson of the Mets, and both pitchers throwing 1-2-3 innings here in the fourth. It's still 1-0. We've gone 4. And we want to welcome you here to the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network, my YouTube channel, if you will. I broadcast all games played. I'm doing 3 replays, 1911, 1964, and 1969. We just started this one. It's April 14. We are early on in April. In 1911, we're August 21 in our 69. That one's moving up. Well, Al Jackson, little Al will lead it off. He reached on an error in the second, an error by Bobby Wine. Jackson is a left-handed hitter to face Bennett. He is a 2NL. Here's Bennett, and the pitch to Jackson. That's 1-4 left-hand. Struck him out. That's the second strikeout for Bennett. He struck out Smith in the first, the leadoff batter. And here comes Smith. Here's the windup by Bennett. That's 3-8. And he struck him out. That's 2 in a row for little Al. I mean, that's Bennett. I'm so sorry. I'll be fine. You're just doing one replay. Which one you doing there? Rick, you may have told me. But if you could remind me. This is 72. Is that what you told me? 72 or something? Here's Bennett. Has a chance to strike out the side here. Amato Samuel, the batter. That's 2-6 left-handed. And that is a grounder to third. Allen has it. And throws to first for the out. The side is retired. That'll be 8 in a row, maybe even 9 in a row for Bennett. We're in the middle of the fifth. It's 1-0 Mets. '72. 30 games left. Wow. You mean 30 per team or 30, which is like 3 games? I guess there's a big difference, but still, you must be further on than me. I imagine the A's are in first. Well, here's Al Jackson now. He's throwing a shutout. Clay Dalrymple leads it off. Then it'll be Wine and Bennett. Okay, Jackson is ready. The pitch to Dalrymple. 1-7, he flies it to center for Hickman, and there's one away. I'll tell you, both of these pitchers are really sharp tonight. Here's the pitch to Wine. Whoa! Keep your eye on it. It's a 3. House rules, 3-9. Left-handed, grounds it to second, and that'll be 2 away. And now the pitcher, Dennis Bennett, comes up. Jackson into his windup, and the pitch to Bennett. That is 4-8. It's a left-handed hitter. And that's going to be a base hit for Bennett. He's not too bad of a hitter. So Bennett is on. And Tony Taylor comes up. Tony 0 for 2. Oh, wow, okay. AL East. Trying to remember, didn't Detroit win the division that year? Okay, Tony Taylor facing Jackson. Here's the pitch. One 3, and he walked him. So Taylor is on first and Bennett on second with 2 outs. And Callison comes up. That's a tough situation. This will be the pressure here for Al Jackson. From the stretch, the pitch to Callison. That's 6-11 left-handed, and it's a fly ball to left, playable by Frank Thomas. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. So Jackson gets out of that. Next, his first endurance is the 7th. It's 1-0 after 5. Now Bennett's going to come up, and this will be his first endurance inning. It's 1-0 Mets. Oh, wow. Okay. You're not telling me Boston was in second in real world? Oh, wait a minute. I can't read the whole thing there. Wait a minute. Okay. Is that the year of a strike? There was a strike that year, yeah. That's right. That's right. Okay, we're heading to the top of the sixth. Ron Hunt will lead it off. Bennett on the mound, facing Ron Hunt. Here's the pitch to Hunt. That's 5-5 right-handed. Grounded to third, and they'll be one away. Allen takes care of that. I remember thinking as a kid back then, I'm about 14 and a half, that Detroit didn't really strike me as a real championship team. They won, I thought, because no one else in that division did better. And obviously, Deb Upcroft has arrived. Good afternoon. Obviously, the A's were better. Here's Frank Thomas with one out. Bennett winds. 3-6, left-handed. And oh, it's a base hit. Just out of the reach of Dick Allen. Thomas hit it hard. Allen had a chance, but could not get it. It goes through. So Thomas on first with one out. And here's Hickman. He walked and flew to right. Here's Bennett now from the stretch. That's 4-8 right-handed. Fly ball center. And Gonzalez hauls it down. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the same Tony Gonzalez. I'm trying to remember. If he was on the Phillies in '69, or is this the Gonzalez who was on Atlanta? Yes, he went to Atlanta. First, he was unprotected by the Phils and went to the Pilots, and then traded to the Braves. He only played till '71 after that. Interesting. Okay, it is him. Here is Tony Hawk Taylor with 2 outs and Thomas on first. Oh, Baltimore was down. Okay. I guess that was the beginning of the end. That was the end of their dynasty by then. They were. Yeah, I remember that well. Here's the pitch from Bennett. That's 1-2. Left-handed, and he struck him out. 4th strikeout for Bennett. Side is retired. The pitching duel is getting tight here. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. Middle of the 6th, 1-0 Mets. I think this was the year when the Cubs had 3 batters that had over 100 RBIs. It was Williams, Santo, and Hickman. And that was a good year. I think they had Bert Hooton. I could be wrong. Jenkins. I think Hands. I think their hitting was tremendous. Well, here's Little Al coming out. He's trying to hold on and keep the shutout, shutting these Phillies down. He'll have to face Allen, Severs, and Gonzalez in the home 6th. Oh, they came back in '73. Okay. It's funny how I can forget stuff like that. Dick Allen steps in the box. It's Al Jackson now. And here's the pitch to Allen. 4-8. And it's a base hit by Dick Allen to lead it off. And here comes Sievers. What's interesting is Wes Covington came in to pinch hit for Sievers, and then Ruben Amaro played first base. And you know what? The thing is, he's a left-handed hitter, Covington. I don't think I would do that. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring Alex Johnson in to hit and bring Ruben Amaro in to play first base, and he's a right-hander. So I'll sort of follow that lead. I don't know why exactly they used him, but that's what I'm going to do. I'll keep this in the team, this nameless player. It's going to be Amaro coming in to play first base hereafter. He's at 2.27. That'll be in the 7th. And Alex Johnson, though, will come up to hit. He was a .303 hitter, 109 at bats. So here's Johnson stepping in to face Jackson. It's Allen on first, nobody out. Here's Jackson now from the stretch. And the pitch to Jackson. That's 4-8, right-handed. Base hit by Johnson. Allen rounds second and goes to third. So the Phillies are working back here. Yeah, no, you know what? Thanks for asking, Rick. Alex Johnson on first, Allen on third here. I thought about it today. I have the money now. But I started to think that it might not be worth it. And then when I say worth it, it just might not be, not only for the money, but for the value. Do I really need a third replay? And I started to think of some of them. I'll tell you, I'm really committed that if I were to get one, it would have to be 47 or later. Because it'd be great to have Ruth and Gehrig all, but it just doesn't feel right. I can do the one, 1911. And really what it comes down to for me is like either 1956 or 1973. I looked at that one. I don't have a 70s replay. I don't have a 50s replay. But then I said, you know, let me just stay with what I have. I'm going to put the money toward my iPhone fund, because my phone, I have a 10, I think it's called, and it is just, it works great. I'm using it right now. It's been a marathon. I must have had this for 8, 9, maybe 10 years. I don't know, maybe 9. So that's my answer. I'm going to put that idea on hold. Here's Tony Gonzalez now. First and third, one out. The infield is playing back. Jackson. And the pitch to Gonzalez. That's 2-8 left-handed. And he grounds it to first, double play, but the tying run scores. The Mets got the double play, but they conceded a run on that. And I don't think that's such a bad thing for the Phillies. That's not a bad deal. Get the tying run and 2 outs, nobody on. You're thinking 65 or 66. You know, those are really cool years. They really are. 65 is a classic year. I think 67. I don't see 68 anymore. So it's a 1-1 game here. And Jackson, his first endurance inning is next inning. It's 2 outs, nobody on, and Cater at the plate. Here's Jackson. The pitch to Cater. That's 6'5" right-handed. Grounds it to short X McMillan, a 222. 17-2. And he throws him out, and that's a pretty good shortstop. McMillan, a 2. The side is retired, but a run for the Phillies, as in a game where runs are kind of hard to come by. It's Mets 1, Phillies 1. And I'm enjoying this. I'm going to take a break for about 3 minutes. Just to collect myself. It's 1-1 after 6. There's a new first baseman in the ball game. It's Ruben Amaro, and he is a 2-7. Pretty good at first. Bennett takes the mound. This will be his second endurance inning, and he'll be pitching, and that'll all happen. A 3-minute power break, indeed. That's exactly what it is. And I'll be back, folks. This is the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. Yeah, I don't know if it's a matter of they're missing or if they're just unavailable. They may have sold out, you know what I'm saying? I don't think they'd want to not sell something if they had it. everybody, I'm back. Okay, we got a ball game here. We're all tied up at 1. Mets scored a run in the top of the first. And then here in the bottom of the 6th, the Phillies came back with a run. Dick Allen scored on a double play ball. It's all tied up. We're heading to the top of the 7th. Here's Bennett. And Dennis Bennett is in his first inning of endurance here. Both pitchers pitching fine baseball tonight. Oh. I'm pretty whacked out myself, Deb. I'm pretty exhausted and upset, and not acutely upset. Not in distress, just unhappy. But that's my personality. I'll probably feel a little better by the time that sun comes down. Leading it off for the Mets will be Joe Christopher. Bottom half of the lineup has had a tough day as of it. Besides Hickman, he did walk, but starting with Hickman, Taylor, Christopher, McMillan, and Jackson. 0 for 12. Did reach on an error, Jackson, and Hickman walked, but it's been a tough ball game here. Trying to stay cool and play some Strat-O-Matic baseball. You know what I like? I like when it's winter and I can play Strat-O-Matic. That's what I like. Okay, and I gotta tell you though, the winter has gotten shorter in Major League Baseball because it's now like, I don't know, almost just 3 months. It's about 3.5 months with the World Series frickin' ending in November. You know, a Detroit win in this game, Deb. Detroit isn't playing in this game, but maybe you meant something else. I used to love waking up in the morning on winter mornings on a Saturday and playing Strat-O-Matic baseball. I used to love that. Here's Joe Christopher, but we'll still have some time. November, December, January will be great. Okay, Bennett is ready. Here's the windup and the pitch to Christopher. That's going to be 5'9", right-handed, and he flies it to right for Callison, and there's one away. All right, Bennett moving right along. Here's Roy McMillan. I'm looking at the Mets now just out of curiosity if I wanted to have a pinch hitter. But I'm looking more to who would I bring in to pitch. And there is nobody who is quote unquote good, okay, as far as I'm concerned. But I'm surprised that they're not as bad as I thought they would be. Okay, McMillan now. 0 for 2. Here's Bennett. That's going to be 2-3 left-handed. Grounds it to second for Taylor. Over to Severs for 2 outs. And here's They're going to let Al Jackson hit. Little Al's going to hit. He's not very great either. But, you know, the fact that he could pitch this much, 213, and not do worse than this is pretty good, I guess. 11 and 16. A lot of the 4.27 ERA may have to do with fielding and other issues. Okay, Bennett looking for the 1-2-3 inning here. The pitch to Jackson. And that's 2-8, struck him out. Number 5 for Dennis Bennett. And it's the 7th inning stretch. And it's a 1-1 ball game. It's a very good ball game. And Dennis Bennett, I might have heard of him, but there's plenty of folks I haven't. And he had a 7-year career. I think I went over it already. But anyway, he died in 2012. He was 72 years old. Yeah, 120 losses, yeah. They were classically bad. I mean, you know, I think 9 of the team got stuck in an elevator an hour before the game, or 2 hours. They were late to the park. They lost. I think they lost a whole bunch of games in a row. There was once a cartoon in New Yorker that year that showed a Met outfielder and in right field, and a fan from the stands threw a can at him. And then you see in the next block, the Met tries to throw it back, and it hits the fence and falls back in. You had to see it. It was classic. Well, here's little Al Jackson, who allowed his first run in the 6th, and this is his first endurance inning. And Bernarth is warming. He was used in real world. So Bernarth, where the hell is he? My God, there he is. Bernarth, a right-hander. He had 76 innings pitched. He started 1 game, 3 saves. It's not a lot to save when you're a Met reliever. In 64, I think they were a little better. They won a few more games, you know, than the 62 team. In fact, let me see what it was. I think it was probably an improvement. Well, they won 13 more. Yeah, they only lost 109 games instead of 120. They won, they were, so there's an improvement. Okay, Bernarth is warming, and leading it off will be Clay Dalrymple. Again, this is lefty-lefty. And they let him hit all the way here. We'll do the same. Here's Jackson, he's ready. Dalrymple 1 for 2. The wind up by Al and the pitch. That's 4-7, left-handed. And that is a base hit by Dalrymple. So Dalrymple is on. Wow. Impressive. Okay. Dalrymple on first. We're not going to run for him, even though he's a 1-9, okay? It's only the 7th here. We're going to do something weird. We're going to have Wine bunt with the batter on deck, the pitcher on deck. So here's Jackson. The infield is in, so he's a B now, Wine. Who knows? Maybe they'll have a pinch hitter in the 7th. It could be. It's something they probably wouldn't have done. Here's the pitch from Little Al. And that's 10B. 10... I'm sorry, that's probably a 10C, isn't it? Oh, 10B, yeah. Batter safe, leader thrown out by Jackson. So that's a beautiful play by Little Al to get Dalrymple. So it's 1 out, Wine on first. Now in this game, Clipperstein came in. Now we've got his card, it's with the Twins, and he is good. Lord, why they got rid of him, I don't know. Clipperstein is warming, and they're going to have a hitter here for Dennis Bennett. That's a little bit of a surprise, but I guess it could happen. Look at that. He allowed no hits after the 1st until the 6th. He allowed 3 hits total. I don't care. I'm still taking him out. He walked 2, struck out 5, and allowed only 1 run. And it's going to be Clipperstein. John Clipperstein coming in next inning because there's going to be a hitter. Let's see who it is. It's Wine on first, 1 down. Now, I do not know why Cookie Rojas is not in the lineup. He hit 291. He only had 340 at bats. Bear with me a second. Wow. Bunting pitches for the Phillies next game. No, I do not see him in the first 3 games. Cookie. He's not in game 4. He probably comes in later. I don't know why or when. But I'll tell you something. Curious. Cookie's first year was 62. He had less than 100 at bats in 62 and 3. So it could be a lot of different things. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to bring him up since he may not have been hurt. So we're going to bring Cookie Rojas into pinch hit here. Clipperstein will be the new pitcher. You could also say that, Bennett might be tired. He pitched great ball. Okay, here's Rojas now, right-handed hitter with Wine on first, 1 down. Jackson is from the stretch here. The pitch to Rojas. 4-5 right-handed, fly ball to right field. Christopher is under it, 2 away. A lot of work for nothing. But at least we know we tried, and here's Tony Taylor. It's 2 outs, and Wine is on first. We're all tied up here at Connie Mack Stadium, 21,016 here to see this opening day of the 64 replay. Here's Little Al, and the pitch to Taylor. That's 6-3 right-handed, fly ball right X. Getting under that is Christopher. Uh-oh, he's a 4-8. That could be trouble. 4-8, that'll be 19-4. And it drops in for a base hit. Christopher could not get that. It's a 19-4 single. Advance 2, mind you. So that could be spelled trouble. Wine goes to third. This is a clutch situation. Now Jackson has allowed 2. I told you that Bernarth is warming for the Mets. He's already allowed 2 hits this inning. In his first endurance, it's first and third. Taylor on first. Wine on third. And here's Callison. Lefty, 1 for 3. Jackson trying to get out of this. The pitch to Callison. That's 5-10, and it's a catcher X. This could be trouble. Taylor is a 3-9 with a runner on third. That's 5-3. It's a wild pitch. And Wine comes home. Then Callison popped out. The side is retired, but in what a fashion. That pitch got away from Little Al. Oh my, oh my. That run will count as earned. Okay. You don't do that on a wild pitch, but and it's not an error. Okay, it's just a freaking wild pitch by Al Jackson. So that's unfortunate. The side was retired. And there's a new pitcher. We're going to have a little break here in the action, very brief, as John Klipstein, how do you like that for a name, comes out. Lord. To take the mound in this ball game. John Klipstein. Lord. They have it here as Johnny. He died in 2003. His career started in 1950. Woo! And he pitched for the Cubs and then was traded to a bunch of teams. His last year was 67, so he pitched 18 years. He was primarily I guess a reliever. He might have started some. Oh yeah, no, he started a lot of games at first. Was always a journeyman. Interesting. 1950. Wow, the veteran. The veteran John Klipstein is on the mound. He's a right-hander, and he looks pretty darn effective, too, but he only had 46 innings. So we'll make a mental note. I always put who pitched in relief in real world at a game. Here it was for these. And then I would also put who pitched in my game in the replay in the prior game, but there was no prior game. That's why that's not there. But Klipstein, I'll be sure to try to not overuse him and look where they used him in real world. But who knows? You know, you try to, sometimes you don't use them when they were used in real world. So you just got to get a general feel for it. But you can't abuse these players, okay? you cannot and think you're doing something realistic. Okay, Clipstein is ready now. Bennett is the winner of record, and Clipstein going for the save. We're in the top of the 8th, still 2 innings. Dick Smith will lead it off. And look at these, look at him, 223 hitter, 94 at bats. Here's Dick Smith now. Okay, Clipstein in for Bennett. The pitch to Smith. That's 1-8 right-handed, and he struck him out. Phillies are already celebrating. All right, people, let's settle down. Let's settle down now. Let's all just settle down. Everybody, just take it easy now. Thank you. Just settle down. All right, it's going to be Amato Samuel coming up now. So Clipstein struck Smith out. Oh, Lord, tough loss here for the Mets, jeez. With Jackson pitching so well. And then the wild pitch, what a way to go. You know what I'm saying? Lord. What a freaking way to go. Al Jackson sitting on that dugout right now. And can't be feeling good. Al Jackson. Ooh. By the way, Al Jackson died in 2019. And yes, his nickname is Little. Actually, Little Al Jackson. He was 5'10". So I don't know what the hell they're calling him Little for. And he died at age 83 after a long illness. Little Al Jackson. Okay. Clipstein facing Samuel. Samuel is 1 for 2. Single scored the only run for the Mets in the first. He walked and grounded to third. Here's Clipstein. That's 110 right-handed, and he flies it to right field. And Callison makes the catch. That's 2 away. These are the Mets, folks. This is a bad team. You know, the big surprise is that Jackson only allowed 2 runs. That's what I'm saying. Ron Hunt is coming up to the batter's box. Okay, Clipstein is ready. Hunt is 1 for 3. Here's the pitch to Hunt. That's 5'9", right-handed. Struck him out. That's 2 for Clipstein. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. He's here to save it, and he's on his way. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th. It's 2-1 Philly, and Little Al is still in this ball game. Yeah. Little Al. They felt no reason to pull him. He does have 2 hits in his first endurance inning. And he's going to be facing Richie, call me Dick Allen. And we're so glad that you have joined us here on the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. Oh, that is so. Oh, and we're sure hoping that. I hate to name drop, but that Kathy's doing well. Haven't heard from her today, I think. Anyway, Dick Allen leading it off. He's 1 for 3. He singled the Phillies' first run. Came home on a double play. Jackson, the pitch to Allen. That's 6-8 right-handed, and he grounds it to third. Ron Hunt has it, throws to first, 1 away. Here's Ruben Amaro, who came in for Severs, is the batter, and he's a right-handed hitter. Amaro is playing first now. 1 out, nobody on. And Al Jackson winds, and the pitch. That is 2-5 left-handed. Struck him out. Oh, little Al. 2 down, and it's a shame. He pitched such good baseball today. That's his second strikeout. 2 down now, and here's Tony Gonzalez. Now, if you're looking ahead to the top of the 9th, it's going to be Thomas, Hickman, and Hawk Taylor. With the Mets down by a run, it's quite doable. But boy, did Klipstein look tough there in the 8th. Okay, Gonzalez steps in. He's 1 for 3. He hit the double play ball that eventually tied this ball game. Here's the pitch, 5-8 left-handed, struck him out, little Al. His third, and it's a 1-2-3. He pitched such good baseball. Well, it's the top of the 9th. This is it for the Mets. They trail by 1. It's 2-1. Philly's going for the win here. Klipperstein for the save. He retired the Mets in order in the 8th. Not a good sign. Here's Frank Thomas to lead it off. Klipstein on the mound. Into his windup. And the pitch to Thomas. 5-7 right-handed, and that is a base hit. And it's going to be for 2. Thomas slides in. A leadoff double by Frank Thomas off Klipstein. Oh my, 5-7 right-handed. I couldn't believe it. Thomas does not have speed. And he just didn't stop, and he is standing up at frickin' second base. My Lord, Thomas. It looks like they're going to have a runner for Thomas. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and he's going to have to play the out. They're going to have to have a. They're going to have a left fielder. It's going to be Rod Keneal running. Rod Keneal will be running here for Thomas. And how do you like that? He will stay in this ball game and play left field. Okay. So Keneal. will play left field. He is a 3 + 2, 6. And Rod Keneal comes up. There's a Rod Keneal fan club. There's no Steele. No. He's just, first of all, he's a C. I'm sorry to contradict you there. Secondly, he's already in scoring position. It's so hard to steal third. We wouldn't do that here. It's not going to happen. Let me just put it that way, okay? It's going to be Jim Hickman and Rod Keneal is on first base. That's a second base. That is a reality, and he will stay in this freaking ball game. Because, well, if there is a bottom of the ninth. Okay, here's Hickman. This is big time now. Clipstein trying to settle down. He's from the stretch, Clipstein, and the pitch to Hickman. Whoa, that's going to be a 3-6 right-handed. And he walked him. So it's first and second. Now the go-ahead run is on first. Tying on second. Clipstein, his first endurance is the third. It's going to be Hawk Taylor now. Just like just about everyone else, a 240 is better. A lot of 230 hitters. Hawk Taylor, first and second. And Joe Christopher on deck. 300 frickin' hitter. Oh my. That's pretty damn good. You know that? Shit. Okay, Clipstein in a little bit of a jam here. First and second with nobody out. Infield is back, of course. Here's the pitch to Taylor. It's a spinner. 312, right-handed, fly ball center. Oh, it's a perfect out. Gonzalez under it makes the catch, and it's one away. Now, Christopher comes up, and Clipstein could end this ball game with a ground ball. The batter is Joe Christopher. One out. First and second. Here's Clipstein from the stretch. The pitch to Christopher. That's 5-6 right-handed. Struck him out. That's the third for Clipstein, and it's all up to McMillan. Isn't that a shame? Roy McMillan with 2 outs and first and second. And there's going to be a hitter for Roy McMillan. Coming in to hit is Jesse Gonder, a left-handed hitter. 270 in real world. If necessary. If they tie it or go ahead, Charlie Smith will play short. We'll be very, very careful about that. With 2 outs, Jesse Gonder, a left-handed hitter, going against the right-hander Clipstein. This is when baseball gets to be a it's nail-biting time. Two outs, first and second. Gonder at the plate. Clipstein from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Gonder. That's 4-7 left-handed, and he struck him out. The ball game is over. Gonder goes down swinging. The fourth strikeout for Clipstein. And the final score here at Connie Mack Stadium in Philadelphia. It's the Philadelphia Phillies 2 and the New York Mets 1. Fucking hits. Mets had 4 hits in the whole. Always a great opener for these clubs. Oh, Lord. Oh, shit. Oh, well, there you have it. I don't know who you would call the MVP. There's only one RBI for the Phillies because of the double play ball that brought home a run. No RBI on that. Both pitchers pitched excellent baseball. Both of them. Bennett just pitched a little better, maybe a lot better. He allowed 3 hits in 7 innings, struck out 5, only 1 run. Clipperstein was amazing. He allowed a double off Thomas to lead off the 9th. He walked Hickman, but then he retired the side, finishing with 2 consecutive strikeouts. It was a great game. 2-1. It's a tough loss for the Mets, a very encouraging one for the Phillies. And I want to thank you all. We're very early on, so we're you know, this is the 7th game of the season for each team. Al Jackson pitched great baseball, no doubt about it. And the Phillies look great. I mean, they have Chris Short, and they have, of course, their ace, Bunning, who will be pitching against these Mets on April, I don't know if it's the 15th or the 16th. They're weird about it at the beginning sometimes, or just in general. You have a good night, Deb Upcroft, and everybody else who was here. There was Rick, and others were here at one point or another. Stay strong, everybody, and I'll catch you all next time.